Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today we're going to do something a bit Irish, coddle or Dublin coddle. So I'm doing this for Luke Fay, who has requested it 3 times. I think he's desperate. And basically what it is, it's a very simple stew of potatoes, bacon, sausages and onions. And it's delicious. It's variously known as coddle, Irish coddle, Dublin coddle, and it's one of those things where your mam has the best recipe, so whatever I do it'll be wrong. Somebody somewhere will say that's not how you make coddle, and apparently there's different things go in it depending on which side of Dublin you live, north or south. So I'm on a hiding to nothing really, but anyway, it's delicious, let's do it. Okay, ingredients for the coddle: I've got a kilo of potatoes, a litre of chicken stock, about half a kilo of bacon, 5 or 6 sausages, a good handful of parsley, a teaspoon of ground black pepper and a large onion, except this comes in 5 instalments. And because this isn't actually really a fixed recipe, it's something you can put leftover stuff in or stuff you want to use up, like maybe carrots and celery or cabbage or whatever, but this is the absolute basic stuff that you need for it to be called a coddle. And the bacon, it's best if you can get it in a slab and cut it into big chunks, but I couldn't, so I've just got rashers, and it's streaky bacon, not back bacon, because there's lots of tasty fat in there. So we need to do a bit of prep. I'm going to peel the spuds and chop them into big chunks. So the chunks want to be about this kind of size, about bite-sized. Okay, there's all the spuds prepped, and now we need to do the large onion, or the 5 little ones. I don't know why I got little onions. So we just need to top and tail the onions, peel them, and then just chop them into chunks. And finally chop the parsley. Now I'm going to do a bit of prep on the bacon and the sausages. So this is where people might start complaining that that's not how you make coddle, because well, it may be not. Everybody makes it differently, and I've seen lots of recipes where they just throw in the sausages whole and not pre-browned or anything, but I think that looks a bit rubbish. So I'm going to saute these briefly just to brown them off. So just heat up a bit of oil in a frying pan and keep these moving till they've got a bit of browning on them. I'm not going to fry the bacon, but I have chopped it into sort of chunks, because you don't want entire rashers of bacon in your coddle, do you? Now traditionally a coddle would be done in the oven like a casserole. So you would want to preheat your oven to 130 degrees Celsius if it's a fan oven, or 150 if it isn't. And I'm not using the oven for this, I'm doing it in my slow cooker. So you need to put all your bits in your vessel, your casserole dish or your slow cooker pot, your crock pot, whatever. And they go in a certain order: onions at the bottom, then a good sprinkling of parsley, then the bacon, and the sausages, more parsley, and then the spuds and any other vegetables that you're using, and finally the remainder of the parsley and the stock. Now I've heated the stock up because it would take a while to heat up in the slow cooker, and I haven't got enough stock, so I'm going to make up some more with the stock cube. Cheat. And you want the stock to come up to more or less the top of the potatoes, so they'll cook properly. Now this goes in the oven with a lid on, or in the slow cooker, for 3 to 5 hours until the spuds are cooked. Now actually I'm going to throw the pepper in, but it probably won't need salt because of the bacon, but I'll check that later. And because you've been good, here's a bonus recipe: how to make soda bread. Soda bread is very well known Irish type of bread. It's unleavened, as in there's no yeast in it, but there is bicarbonate of soda and a bit of chemistry that makes it rise. It's very quick, it's very tasty, and this is how you make it. Before you even think about making your soda bread, you need to get your oven preheated to 210 degrees Celsius if it's a fan oven, or 230 if it's not, because it's got to be really hot when the dough goes in. So ingredients, we've got 450 grams of plain flour, 300 mils of buttermilk, a teaspoon of salt, and the magic ingredient, a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. So I lied about that, that's not buttermilk, that's whey. But it will work the same because it's acidic. If you haven't got buttermilk or whey, you can use soured milk, which you make by adding a tablespoon of lemon juice or white vinegar to 300 mils of ordinary milk, and just stir it and leave it for about 15 minutes. And the reason I'm labouring this point is because it's risen by a chemical reaction between the bicarbonate of soda and the acidic liquid. I'll show you. So this glass contains 2 parts water, 1 part lemon juice, and I'm just going to add a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And you see it makes a lot of bubbles, and that's what causes your soda bread to rise. So it's very important to work quickly once you've started mixing everything. So you want to mix together the flour and the salt and the bicarbonate of soda. Just stir those very well. And now stir in the buttermilk or whey or whatever. Okay, till it comes together. It's still quite wet because I probably put a bit too much liquid in, but flour your hands, flour the worktop, and you just want to knead this for like 30 seconds. It's not like kneading bread. You don't want to, you're not trying to develop gluten. You're just finishing off the mix, really. And I've got a baking sheet with some flour on it, and we'll pop our lump of very coarse dough on there. I know this looks a mess, but it's meant to. Possibly, maybe not that much of a mess. And just slash across in the top and slap that in the oven for 45 minutes. Okay, there's our soda bread, looking a bit like an asteroid. The cross didn't work. And just turn it over and give it a whack. Sounds hollow, that's cooked. So I'll stick it on a wire rack to cool down, and I'm going to cover it with a clean tea towel. Okay, so the asteroid has cooled down somewhat, so well, it's still warm actually, but let's hack it open and see what we've got. Yeah, that looks kind of like bread. A dollop of good old butter on there. This is still warm. Ooh, oh yeah. It looks rubbish, but it tastes great. Soda bread. So here we are, hours and hours later, and here's our coddle. And it smells fantastic. Whoops. Let's try this bit of sausage. I declare that a success. A few simple ingredients, lots and lots of cooking, and it's turned into something magical. Irish coddle, Dublin coddle, whatever. Wonderful. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed it. Now you can get the full recipe on my website, KeefCooks.com, and there should be a link kicking around on the screen over there or down there. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Link. And talk to me, leave comments, make requests, keep it civil and friendly or I will ban you. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.